What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Gotta Get Back, the Samurai Jacket review show. My name is Kyle, your host. Once again, welcome to Project Potter, guys. Welcome to episode 44 of the Samurai Jacket review. If you haven't seen the show before, guys, it's a recap for each episode. It is a favorite character, a favorite scene, a score out of 10, and some trivia. So we're kicking it off here, guys, with episode 44 as we make our way through season 4 here. And this episode, it starts off in a barbershop, and it's Boris, one of the bounty hunters, going after Jack, and he's getting a haircut. And the hairdresser is telling, like, the other bounty hunters are walking by outside, and he's like, "Oh, it's I and Am, which are like the two humanoid cat bounty hunters." He's like, "Oh, it's Jujunga, which is like the Australian slash like African bounty hunter," and he's telling them all their accolades. And he's like, "Oh, it's the gentleman," and it's really cool. So basically, it's like the three of them going by, and he's like, I haven't seen that one before. And it's someone in like armor, who we find out is Princess Mira later. And Boris is like, "And I am Boris. I am the most strong bounty hunter." And he goes up and he walks over. There's like an empty cabin in the snow, and they all kind of stare at each other. And they're like, "Are we going to fight each other? What are we doing here?" And they're like, "Oh, we're all after the same samurai." And they're like, "Why don't we discuss this inside? It's cold." And he's like, "Da." And so they go inside, and they have like this, sequence where they light a fire, and then they're telling a story about how all their different ways that they're going to take down Samurai Jack. And so it starts off with Jujunga, and he's like, "Oh, Jack, the samurai's going to come in here." And he's like, "I'm going to be playing my beautiful music." He's like, he's going to be lulled in by the music, and he's like, "I'm going to shoot my secret arrow, or my secret dart, which is a blow dart." He said it's been mixed with the most lethal poisons, and like basically that will knock Jack out. And he's like, "No problem." And Princess Mira, who's sitting up here in the armor, it's really cool armor. She's sitting up top, and she's like, "You guys are underestimating him. Like he would pick up on that right away, and he would just dodge the dart." And then the gentleman is like, "Okay, well, how about I tell you how I would do it?" And he's like, "Well, he would come in here, and it's like a black and white scene, and he throws these two daggers." He just throws these two little daggers at Jack, and that would kill Jack. And I'm like, "Dude, terrible plan." So Princess Mira's like, "Dude, he would easily see that coming." So then I and Am, the two humanoid cats, are like, "Well, we have these little like exploding like things, like little spike balls." And they're like, one would look out and one would hide, and then we just throw it at him. And I think they throw like a chain at him or something. And they're like, "No, he would just cut through it easily." And then Boris comes in, and he's like, "Well, he would come, samurai would come," and he's like, "I would break him down." He's like, "I would break him and break him and break him." And he's like swinging. And they're like, "Dude, he would just jump." Princess Mira's like, "He would just jump immediately like above you and cut you down." So Princess Mira jumps down, and they don't know this is Princess Mira yet because it's like this cool badass warrior, like the blue outfit. And they're like, "Okay, sir, you seem pretty adept. Like, how about you reveal yourself to us?" And takes off the helmet, and it's like a Samus moment where it's like, she's like, "My name is Princess Mira." She kicks Boris across the room, and she's like, "This is going to be the plan." And she combines all of their plans. So she's like, "Okay, this is what's going to happen. We're going to go outside." She's like, "We're all going to hide in the snow." She's like, one of them is going to, one of the INAMs is going to, I forget which one it is, but they're going to look out. And basically it's like the other cat is going to come out of the woods and throw the bombs at Jack while the other three are attacking. And like, basically they're going to work together to take down Jack. And they're like, "Oh, that does seem like a pretty good plan." And so they're like, "All right." So like, they're like, "Am, you go up in the trees," and then like the rest of us start digging. And Boris is like, "I do not like taking orders from a woman." And it's like, "All right, well, deal with it, dude. Times they are changing," you know what I mean? And so they're kind of waiting around, and the gentleman's like throwing his knife against the wall, and the cat's laying there, and we see this icicle dripping at the top, and it's really good because Princess Mira is like on the balcony, and she's like swiping her sword really fast, and they're all kind of waiting, and then they're like, "He's coming." So they jump into their like undercover holes there. One of the humanoid cats jumps back, and then like Princess Mira puts on her helmet, and then it's just like a slow shot, and they're waiting for Jack to come, and we get this awesome shot of Princess Mira waiting and like looking above the like above her hiding spot or whatever, and it's like the helmet, but then it kind of fades into like to see her, and everyone's waiting there. And then we get Jack, who slowly comes up, and this is after they all like zoom in on their face like 5 or 6 times. And Jack is like walking slowly, and all of a sudden they attack. And from the time so they show the icicle dripping, and from the time that it starts dripping, they put their plan to action. And dude, Jack is like, he just absolutely wrecks everyone without saying a single word. And so the plan was to throw the chain at Jack's sword and take his sword away. Well, they get around the sword, and then Jack like grabs it before it's away and pulls it. And he like whips the cat around. The gentleman throws his knives there. Jack easily avoids them and then cuts him down. Princess Mira goes like attack him at the same time. He breaks her sword, punches her in the gut, punches her in the face, like breaks her like nose basically. The bombs that were thrown at him, Jack like absorbs them and throws them back at Boris. And it's just like everyone is taken down before the drop hits the ground. So this is all within like not even a second. Princess Mira, it's super badass. It's great. Princess Mira is waiting in the background. She's like looking, and she kind of stares at Jack, and she's got her knife, but she kind of just knows that it's worthless. So she kind of drops to her knees. Jack walks away because he like waited for her, but he could tell. He's like, bro, do you really want to try and get me after I just did that? And so yeah, Jack leaves. Super, super cool. Doesn't say a single word. And like they're planning this attack the whole time, and they work together, and they show the plan kind of working when they're like scheming it up, and you're like, oh, okay, that's a solid plan. And Jack just absolutely destroys it in like under probably 10 seconds. So really, really cool. And Jack walks off into the sunset, defeating his enemies once again, and the bounty hunters once again failing. And that is how the episode ends. Okay, guys, magic sword for this one, it's easy. It's Samurai Jack. The fact that there was like 5 different bounty hunters, and they were all like lethal bounty hunters, and they all had their plan. They first didn't want to work together, and then they came up with a plan together, and they're like, oh, this is going to be great. And then the fact that they set this up and they spent all that time digging and doing the plan for Jack to come in here and just absolutely destroy it within like 10 seconds was wonderful. So yeah, Samurai Jack is a badass, and he gets the magic sword for this week. So for Portal in Time, I think it's just going to be the shot where they're in the cabin and Mira is sitting up there because she's like sitting like all relaxed and cool and badass, and they don't know who she is yet, and she's got this cool voice. Just the shot where they're all like kind of planning how they're like, we're going to crush Jack and we're going to do this and we will break you. And she's sitting up there and she's like, dude, she's like the only one that really understands how good Jack is. And because she survives at the end, I'm wondering if she'll come back into play. But yeah, her sitting up on the balcony looking really badass and then kind of jumping down and then like kicking Boris's ass and kind of being like the leader of the group is the reason she's going to get my Portal in Time for this week. Okay, guys, for a score, I was kind of low on this one for most of the episode, to be honest. I was kind of disinterested. And then Jack comes in at the end and just absolutely wrecks their plan. And I was like, wow, that was sick. So I'm going to give this one an 8.8. Even though it's kind of a basic premise, I really like that they all had their own plan. They work together, and then Jack just comes in. And the fact that he wrecks it so quickly, and they show that drop from the icicle starting to drip, and then he takes everyone out, and then it hits the ground. Just shows you how quickly he took everyone out and how skilled he is and how lethal and badass Jack is. Has got to give major props to him. So really, really cool action scene to kind of an okay episode, but there was like so much build up and like you think like, okay, well, there's going to be this big, huge fight. No, Jack just takes everyone out within like seconds. So hey guys, so Jack facts for this week, there's a few of them here. So Genndy did officially confirm that while Jack did fight humans in the first 4 seasons, he never killed them. So the bounty hunters are more likely unconscious at the end of the episode and not dead, which is kind of disappointing, but it's you can see how Jack would not kill. He's kind of like Batman. So a continuity issue here, guys. The enactment of the plan, Am is shown, which is one of the humanoid cats, shown throwing the initial chain. However, in the next scene, it is I again. And so that doesn't make any sense, but just a little goof. Also, several times, Jajunga refers to his instrument as a flute, and while playing it can be seen alternating his finger position as if to change the pitch. The instrument is clearly a didgeridoo, which is a musical instrument native to the Australian Aborigines, which is controlled entirely by the pitch of one's breathing and thus does not feature finger holes nor require finger movement at all. So I don't know if that was like a parody or that was just a goof on them, but it's another kind of error there. This is the first episode of Samurai Jack where Jack does not have a single line of dialogue. And I'm glad he didn't, because that made it way more badass that he came in there and did that. So that's really cool. And then Mira tends to point out that each bounty hunter's plan will fail, which includes Jajunga, who has Jack has sharp senses, knowing when he will attack. The gentleman, Jack has discipline and will not be easily tricked, and the decoy won't be strong enough to work on Jack. I and Am, while she does compliment their plan being on the right track, Jack is cunning and very hard to restrain, and with the sword still in his hand, Jack will keep up against them. And then Boris, she considers Boris being an idiot, and he has heavily underestimated Jack and does not know what Jack can actually do. So, like I kind of mentioned in the review, Mira is like all-knowing, and she's obviously studied Jack more, so I'm interested to see if that comes back. But those are the Jack facts for this week. All right, guys, that's it. That's another episode in the books, 44 down now. So we're almost halfway through. I think next episode is the halfway point of season 4. So thanks for checking out Project Potter, guys. Thanks for checking out Gotta Get Back. We're making our way through here. Like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell notification, guys. You already know. And until next time, guys, gotta get back.